I don't think that's the train, though.
I think that's the train. Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Anime Expedition. Today we're in Koto City to go to the Mori Digital Art Museum and hit up the Venus Fort Mall, but we spotted this Ferris wheel and couldn't resist. There aren't actually any anime set in Koto City, so after this we're probably gonna head to Chiba, which is a location of Snafu, and that's about an hour from here. We ended up walking into the wrong train station, which normally wouldn't be too big a deal, but when we tried to leave, our tickets wouldn't let us back through the gates. They just kept beeping loudly, and to make things worse, there was an old British tourist yelling helpful advice at us, such as to just run through faster. We found a phone you can use to call for assistance, but not only did the operator barely speak English, but the phone sounded like it was from the 50s. The operator eventually managed to adjust our tickets, and after apologizing profusely, we made our way onto the correct train. At this point, we had burned far more time than anticipated, and realized we wouldn't make it to Chiba until almost sunset. Cutting our losses, we took out our maps to formulate a new plan. I noticed a star nearby that turned out to be the location of the Season 2 finale of OreGairu, or Snafu, or My Youth Romantic Comedy As Wrong As I Expected, whichever of the 10 names you want to call it. Our excitement levels were high as we made our way towards Kasai Rinkai Park, along what in my opinion is the most scenic transit route in all of Tokyo. With incredible architecture, the bustling harbor, and a surprising amount of trees, I kept my eyes glued to the window the entire ride. Exiting the station, the first thing that I recognized from the anime was this Ferris wheel, so I pulled up a screenshot on my phone and headed towards where I thought the shot would have been taken from. But this proved to be tricky, because the scene in the show is covered in snow and had a train in the foreground, and I just can't figure out the angles just right. Yeah, it would have to be like right here. Oh, that's the building that they have their little conversation at. Oh, yeah. In one of the top 10 anime baka moments of all time, I somehow managed to frame up the exact shot without even realizing it, because my mind was so dead set on finding that train. So we turned around and headed in the opposite direction. What would it be, down this way? Cutting our losses, we headed over to the lookout that Yui used as the backdrop for her final convoluted love confession. Arriving at the building, I took out my camera to set up the first shot, but had to wait for some kids to finish with their bubbles. Which, hey, fair enough, it looked pretty fun. We've managed to find the dome, which is just over there, and we found the spot where they had their final conversation, just back there, but I can't quite get the angle on the Ferris wheel. So we're still looking around for that train. Do you see what I see?
Train.
That's a very good sign.
I don't think that's the train though.
I think that's the train.
No,
I think it had a face in the front.
No, the train was like yellow and big.
It's the train.
At this point we made the executive decision to head inside of the aquarium, which we knew from watching Snafu was inside of the dome. The only issue was we had absolutely no idea how to get anywhere near it, so we began following a path off to the right. Ending up right back where we started, exhausted from walking around in the hot sun, we broke for lunch to rethink our life decisions. Turns out we walked right past the very obvious entrance on our way into the park. We didn't even make it inside the aquarium before recognizing another shot from the show.
This is wild. Oh my god, this is the exact spot.
Hammerhead shark.
Wait, so you're allowed to take pictures in here?
This is going way better than I could ever imagine. The one last thing I can't find is the jellyfish tank, which I'm convinced might not actually be real, but I'm gonna keep looking around for a little bit. As we were walking around, we noticed an info sign that said some of the fish had been brought here from the Vancouver Aquarium on an anime expedition of their own. Nearing the end of what turned out to be one of the most spontaneous and unforgettable days in Japan, we sat down to discuss what ultra-important tourist activity to do next.
There's a street called Cat Street.
On our way out, I realized the shot I had been searching for from the start was literally right under my nose the whole time. could not have asked for a better way to spend our last day in the Kanto region. Exhausted from walking around in the sun all day, we sat back with our Picari sweats and enjoyed the sunset. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe because there are many more episodes on the way featuring anime from all across Japan. If you'd like to see all the comparison shots from this episode in more detail, I've uploaded a compilation of just the locations, and I've posted screenshots on Instagram.com/that'skindofneet. If you'd like to support a second season of Anime Expedition, I've got a link to my Patreon down below.